let's solve few problems based on the topic whatever we have discussed in the last video. The general and the nth, the midterm of the of the particular binomial theorem. See the first one. Find the coefficient of, in this there are two sub questions, x power 5 in x plus 3 whole power 8. So let's solve this one. So in the first one, see what you have, x plus 3 whole to the power of 8, correct? Now x plus 3 whole power 8, obviously you are going to have x to the power of 5. So what we'll do is we'll take that, let x to the power of 5 be r plus 1th term. We'll assume it to be r plus 1th term. In the sense, NCR a power n minus r into b power r. This is the r plus 1th term, isn't it? Now, if x power 5 is the r plus 1th term, that means what we are going to do, see, a value is x, b value is 3, n value is 8, correct? This is what we have in the question. That means the x to the power of 5, whatever it is, we are going to take 8cr, we don't know the value of r, 8cr, x to the power of 8 minus r, correct, into 3 to the power of r. This value, and this value should give us some value k, which is the coefficient k, into x to the power of 5, correct? That means the x terms you have to equate. See, this term and this term, if you equate, you'll get to know the value of r, because that is the most important part, isn't it? So what do? X to the power of 8 minus r is x to the power of 5. That means what do we get? 8 minus r is equal to 5. So r value is equal to 3. Quite easily we can figure it out. Now r is 3, but what we need is the coefficient, isn't it? Now substitute this value of 3 in the value of r in this particular, not an equation, more like that expression. In the sense, what we have is 8c3 into 3 to the power of 3. So 8 into 7 into 6 by 3 into 2 into 1 into 3 cube is 27. Cancel, cancel. So what do we have? 56 into 27, correct? And this is going to give us 1512. So this is going to give us the final answer, 1512. So this is the answer for the first question, that is the coefficient of x power 5 in this one. Let's do the next one. Very similar, the same method, we are going to solve the second one, all right? The second one, the coefficient of a power 5 into b power 7. Same logic, no change. We'll assume that this is the r plus 1th term, the general term. Okay, and what is r plus 1th term? So tr plus 1 ncr a power n minus r into b to the power of r, correct? So now ncr, n value is 12, 12cr into a to the power of 12 minus r into b value is minus, so what we'll do, minus 1 power n, keep it here, 2b to the power of r. Okay, let's segregate things. That means we'll do minus 1 to the power of n into 12cr into 2 power r. So the 2 power r, we are going to get it from here. See this 2 power r, that value. Okay, so 2 power r, and then here you are going to get a to the power of 12 minus r into b to the power of r. Correct, this is what we have. Now this value is equal to some value k into a power 5 b power 7. Now if you equate, so what is the value of r? It's very easy, no? B power r is there, b power 7 is there. So we are going to get b power r is b power 7, r value is 7. Substitute that. So if you substitute that, we are going to get minus 1 power 7 into 12c7 into 2 to the power of 7. So minus 1 into, see, 12c7 is the same as 12c5. So minus 1 into 2 power 7 into 12c5. Okay, or minus 2 power 7 into 12c5. This is going to give us the final answer. Of course, it's going to be quite a big number because 2 power 7 itself is a 3-digit number. And on top of that, we are also going to do into 12c5, which is going to give us a quite a big answer. Clear? So this is the answer for the second question. Now let's do the second one. In the sense, in the first main, there are 2 sub questions. This is the second one answer. Now we'll do the second part. Find the fourth term that particular question will solve. See the second one. Find the fourth term of the expansion, this one. Now fourth term, correct? So what we are looking at is r plus 1 is equal to 4, because general term is tr plus 1, right? So r value becomes 3. That means when we do t4, we have to do nc3, because r value is 3, into a to the power of n minus 3 into b to the power of 3. And what are the values of n, a, b? N value is 12 and a value is x, b value is minus 2y. So we'll substitute. So if we substitute, what do we have? We are going to get, first n value is 12, right? So we have 12c3 into x to the power of 12 minus 3. Now we can take minus 2y whole to the power of 3. Correct? Now minus 1 to the power of 3, we can take it outside. So we are going to have minus 1 into 12 into 11 into 10 divided by 3 into 2 into x to the power of 12 minus 3 is 9 into 2 cube into y cube. Correct? We have to simplify this. So 3 4 times and then again 2 times. So 2 into 11 into 10, that's going to give us 220. 220 into 8. So this is going to give us minus 220 into 8 into x power 9 into y cube. Or this is going to give us, see, minus 220 into 8, correct? That's minus 1760 x power 9 y cube. This is going to give us the answer for the second question. Clear? Now let's do the third one. The 13th term, third question will solve. See the third one. Find the 13th term in the expansion. Same thing, no change. Okay, same thing. Now we are looking at T13, correct? 13th term. So R plus 1 is equal to 13. R is equal to 12. Now let's substitute. So T13 is equal to, so we have 18C12, first case, into 9x whole to the power of 18 minus 12 into minus 1 by 3 root x whole to the power of 12. See, minus to the power of 12 is plus itself, so no worries there. 18c12 is 18c6, correct? Into 9x whole to the power of 6 into 1 by 3 root x whole to the power of 12. See, one thing what we can do here, 18c6 we can keep it as it is. But that other two terms what we have, that we can simplify it much more easier. Alright. So keep the 18c6 as it is. Into 9 power 6 into x to the power of 6 by 3 to the power of 12 into, see, root of x is x power half. This is going to give us x to the power of 6. X power 6 cancels. So what do we have? 18c6 into, now 9 to the power of 6 is the same as 3 power 12, because 9 is 3 square. 3 square to the power of 6. That means we have 3 to the power of 12 by 3 power 12. Cancels out. So ultimately, what do we get? The final answer is just 18C6. This is going to give us the answer for the third question. Clear? So this is the answer. Now, the next few questions are of different type, more like proving sums. Okay, proving sums independent of X type of problems. Now, just to give you a glimpse, see in the third question, you have a term X in this one. Will the 13th term have a value of X? No, right? So it's a term which is independent of X. So those kind of problems we are going to solve. Okay, so now let's do the next one. See the next problem. The coefficients of r minus 1th, rth and r plus 1th terms of the expansion of this one are in the ratio 1:3:5. Find n and r. Now here, I want you to see one very, very important part of the question. The coefficients. Coefficients. Correct? So, now what we'll do? So, we are going to take, see, whenever we talk about coefficients of the r minus 1, so what we are looking at, tr minus 1. Correct? Before we do that, what is tr plus 1? It is ncr a to the power of r, sorry, n minus r into b to the power of r. Correct? Now, what is a coefficient here? The coefficient is going to be just ncr, because the rest of it, where one is, you are going to have 1 to the power of something, which is 1 itself. The next one is x to the power of something. Leave that, that's a variable. So coefficient is going to be just ncr. This is for tr plus 1. Same thing if you do for tr. This is going to become ncr minus 1. I'm writing only the coefficient. And for tr minus 1, what are you going to have? ncr minus 2. Make sense? Now, what they're telling is that tr minus 1, the coefficient, is to tr is to tr plus 1. This is in the ratio 1:3:5. Now, what we'll do, we'll take just two of them at one point of time. That means we'll first consider only tr minus 1 is to tr. That means we'll consider only 1:3. First, we'll consider this, then we'll consider the next two, solve the equation. Fair enough? So, what do we get here? So, we are going to get that, see, tr minus 1 is ncr minus 2. So, we have ncr minus 2 by ncr minus 1, because tr minus 1 is to tr, correct? This is equal to 1:3. Now, we'll solve this one. In the sense, we need to simplify this and we need to solve this, all right? First thing what we do, we expand it. In the sense, see, expansion in this, what is NCR expansion? NCR is n factorial by n minus r factorial into r factorial, correct? So in this case, this is going to be n factorial divided by n minus of r minus 2. So that's n minus r plus 2 factorial into r minus 2 factorial. There's an expansion, isn't it? This divided by n factorial divided by n minus r plus 1 factorial into r minus 1 factorial. This is equal to 1:3. N factorial gets cancelled, correct? Now, this denominator part, see, this denominator part, this will go to the numerator. In the sense, we are going to have n minus r plus 1 factorial, n minus r plus 1 factorial into r minus 1 into r minus 2 factorial. It keeps on reducing, correct? This divided by. Next, you can write this as n minus r plus 2 into n minus r plus 1 factorial into r minus 2 factorial. This is equal to 1:3. Correct? This and this cancels, this and this cancels. So what do we end up with? We end up with r minus 1 by n minus r plus 2 is equal to 1:3. Now, cross multiply, we get 3r minus 3 is equal to n minus r plus 2. Correct? Now, we need to simplify, like take the r on one side, get the equation in terms of n and r. Alright? If you take the r that side, so we are going to have 4r is equal to n plus 5. 3 plus 2 is 5. Now, what we'll do, we'll call this equation as equation number 1. Okay, 4r is equal to n plus 5. This is going to be equation number 1. Now, similarly, we have to do the next two. Next two in the sense what? We'll have to take TR and TR plus 1. Okay, and that ratio is what? 3:5. So, we'll do that particular calculation now. See, TR is to TR plus 1. This is 3:5. So, NCR minus 1 divided by NCR is equal to 3:5. Again, n factorial divided by n minus r plus 1 factorial into r minus 1 factorial divided by n factorial by n minus r factorial into r factorial. This is equal to 3:5. N factorial cancels out. See, we have n minus r, correct? So, take it to the numerator. N minus r factorial into r minus 1 factorial divided by n minus r plus 1 into n minus r factorial into r minus 1 factorial. This is equal to 3:5. Cancel, cancel. So, what do you get? You're going to get r by n minus r plus 1. This is equal to 3 by 5. Cross multiply. You're going to get 5r is equal to 3n minus 3r plus 3. Transpose it. So, finally, you'll end up with 8r is equal to 3n plus 3. See, this we can call it as equation 2. Remember, we have equation 1 and equation 2. Both of them are in terms of n and r. Now, we need to do linear equations in two variables and solve these two. Clear? So, now we'll solve the equation 1 and equation 2 by taking these two equations. Alright? See, these are the two equations, the first and the second equation. Now, what we'll do, we'll multiply the first equation by 2 and we can subtract each other. Alright? So, if you multiply this by 2, you're going to get 8r is equal to 2n plus 10, and here 8r is equal to 3n plus 3. Now, subtract. See, if you subtract, now what's going to happen? 8r gets cancelled, correct? So, you'll have 0 is equal to minus n plus 7. That means what do we get? We are going to get n is equal to 7. So, we got the value of n as 7. Now, substitute this n as 7 in any of the equation. Probably I'll substitute in the first equation. See, what do we have first equation as? 4r is equal to n plus 5. So, 4r is equal to 7 plus 5. 4r is equal to 12. So, what do we get? R is equal to 3. So, we got the value of r as 3. So, these are the two answers, or these are the answers what we require. N value is 7, r value is 3. Alright. Now, whenever you have these type of questions, this is what you're supposed to solve, or this is how you're supposed to solve. And this is the answers what we are going to get. Clear? Now, we are going to see the next question. Alright, so very simple one. We'll do the next one. See this question. Find the term independent of x in the expansion of this one. Now, one thing I want you to understand, independent of x in the sense there should be no x term. Correct? Or you can also say that it can be in the form of x to the power of 0, because x power 0 is what? 1. So, it's as good as saying that it is independent of x, correct? So, now what we are looking at is we are looking at that particular term where the power of x is 0. and we are looking at that particular term. Clear? So what we'll assume, let r plus 1th term, let r plus 1th term be independent of x. Okay, so independent of x. That means what is tr plus 1? Tr plus 1 is ncr, in this case a to the power of n minus r, b to the power of r, correct? So in this case, we have 6cr. We don't know what is r. We are trying to figure out the value of r. Okay. 6cr into 3 by 2 into x square to the power of 6 minus r, correct? Into minus 1 by 3x whole to the power of r. Do you know the value of r? No. Now what we'll do, we'll take only the variable x, not the constant like 3 by 2 minus 1 by 3, only the variable x. Now segregate that one. In the sense, what we'll do, we'll take 6cr 3 by 2 to the power of 6 minus r minus 1 by 3 to the power of r. Segregate this into x square to the power of 6 minus r into 1 by x whole to the power of r. Keep this separately. Clear? Now, why we are trying to segregate it? Because only this part of this expression, only this part, the power has to be 0. Clear? So, we'll solve this one now. Very easy. We'll just take the power like normal. Remember how we were doing the laws of exponent? Do it in the same way and equate the power to 0 so that you will get the value of r. Clear? So, let's do this one now. Now, what do we have? We have x square to the power of 6 minus r, one case, into 1 by x to the power of r. Correct? This becomes x to the power of 12 minus 2r divided by x to the power of r, or x to the power of 12 minus 3r. Now, since it has to be independent of x to the power of 12 minus 3r is equal to x power 0. So, 12 minus 3r is equal to 0, or very clearly 12 is 3r, r value is 4. Since r value is 4, we are looking at tr plus 1, correct? So, what do we say? The final answer. Therefore, fifth term is independent of x. Fifth term is independent of x. Clear? So, this is the answer for the given question. Clear? So, you have understood different types of questions. Now, this pretty much concludes how and what types of problems and how to solve the problems in this particular chapter.